Hi, I'm Chili Bin, and this is Raiden. We met on day 2 of our Appalachian Trail through hike and ended up hiking the whole thing together. Now we're in New Zealand. We just got married and we're off to explore the country together, hiking and tramping using mostly gear I made for us. Subscribe to come along with us as we explore the great outdoors. Hi guys, Chili Bin here. It is bright and early on a Monday morning and Raiden and I are setting off in Abel Tasman National Park to walk the Abel Tasman Great Walk and the inland track to make a loop. We're starting off today, heading up the inland track, finishing the inland track off tomorrow and then coming back down the coast over the next couple of days after that. This trip overall is going to be about a 100-kilometre loop. Today's our biggest day, walking 28 kilometres, and then we've got some shorter days, 23 to 25 k's the rest of the way. Because it's a great walk, I expect the track to be a little bit busier than some of the things we've been on recently, but it's also going to be much nicer graded and easier walking than Nelson Lakes or any of the other things we've been doing probably. The inland track, not sure what that'll be like. It's not part of the Great Walk, but I think it's still fairly well trafficked, so it shouldn't be too bad. So I didn't film much on the way up. We've just been walking through the bush all morning, but we're just leaving Castle Rock Hut now. Took us about 3.5 hours to get there through the bush, and now we're just continuing on through the bush to Moa Park Shelter, and then beyond there to our Poto Hut, which is where we'll sleep tonight. When we were first coming up the hill today, it was quite hot and humid, and although it was cloudy, the sun was really trying to shine through. But since we just stopped and had a quick lunch break, it's really cooled down. The clouds have closed in on the hills around us, and it's significantly colder. I'm only just okay with my shorts and t-shirt on right now, but once I get moving again, I should warm right back up. Good morning. It's about 9 o'clock. We're just leaving our Poto hut, heading down to Pigeon Saddle, up Gibbs Hill, and then joining into the Abel Tasman track later on today. We have about 24 kilometres to walk today, and we'll get to Anapai campsite on the Abel Tasman. Last night I didn't sign off, but we had a good day. Only about 8.5 hours to walk our 30 or 28 Ks, so really happy with that. And then we got to the hut, Raiden got the fire going, and we had a really warm, cozy night. We were joined by another couple who'd just come up to the hut for the night, so it was nice to sit around and chat to them. And then they left pretty early this morning, so we haven't really seen them since. We're just leaving Whariwharangi hut and heading along the Abel Tasman track towards Anapai campsite, which is where we're going to sleep tonight. So we're done now with the inland track portion of our walk, and we're on to the Great Walk, which is going to be pretty much entirely at sea level. I think our highest point is 160 metres above sea level, and then also the track is going to be much nicer graded for Great Walk people. I think we're going to see a lot of day walkers out and about on this section of the track. We've already seen 3 sets in the last few minutes. People can take a boat to various different places along the coast and then just go for a day walk, so lots more people out and about here. So we got to Anapai Bay at around 4 o'clock. We've set up our tent at the end of the campsite here. It's just us and 2 others at the campsite, so lots of space to ourselves. The beach is absolutely beautiful. I haven't been for a swim. It's a little cold today. I'm actually sitting in the sun wearing my wind pants and my fleece, so not exactly swimming weather. After we got off the inland track, the track got much wider and a bit of beach walking, but mostly easy track walking, so we made pretty good time. Good morning. We're just getting going for the day, heading off down the beach at Anapai, and we're heading down the Abel Tasman Coastal Track all the way to Bark Bay today. We have a couple of tidal crossings to do. The first one in about 8 Ks, and there's no way around it if the tide's wrong, but fortunately for us, low tide today is about 1 PM, so that should be pretty perfect. And then the second one for us today is right at the end of the day, and it has about a 10-minute detour around it if the tide's too high, so we should be fine regardless of where the tide's at by the time we get there. We were playing around with the wekas a little bit, talking to them and taking some video of them last night. It was all fun and games until they had wrecked the tent, so now we've got about 30 holes in the tent or so. Wherever one of the wekas climbed the tent and tried to sit on top of it, and then we shoot it off. And so there's claw marks all the way up one side and back down the other, which is super disappointing. There's New Zealand's silver fern, the ponga tree, beautiful green fern with a silvery white underside. It's often used as New Zealand's national emblem. So see the white underside there. And they are absolutely everywhere on this section of the trail. Here we are at the tidal crossing. The tide is out far enough, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's an orange mark right over the other side there near the hut, which is where we're heading to. We just came across the tidal Awaroa Inlet, which can only be crossed a couple of hours on each side of low tide. And then we stopped at Awaroa Hut and had a good long lunch break. And now we're on our way to Bark Bay, which is where we're stopping for the night. And the signage says somewhere between 4 and 4.5 hours to get there. So we should be finishing up fairly early today. It is just starting to sprinkle with rain. It's actually cooled down quite a bit, so hopefully this doesn't stick around too long and it warms back up again, because it was quite nice this morning.
What do you find?
The season.
What is that?
I don't know, we've always called them jellyfish eggs, whether they're actually jellyfish eggs or not, I don't know. But it's like swimming in crushed up jello. morning. I think it's a little after 8 AM. We're just leaving Bark Bay campsite and heading back to Maraho, back to where we parked the van. And we have a low tide crossing today. It's a 4-kilometre extra walk around if we need to walk around the low tide crossing. And I think we're going to be too early for it. So we may have to walk an extra 4Ks today. But otherwise, it looks like a pretty nice, easy walk today. Following the coast, 23Ks. A little bit up and down, but I think the highest we get above sea level is like 120 or 130 meters. So, should be all good. Beautiful sunrise this morning. I was just lying in the tent and I kind of looked out and I saw that there was a bit of an orange glow, so I opened up the door and there it was out over the water. So that was pretty cool. You can see the orange markers all the way across the water there. That is the path we're not taking. We have to take the high tide route instead. So we've just reached the inland track turn-off where we turned off on the very first day, and now we're on our way back to Maraho. What have you spotted? Yeah, through there, right next to this giant bush of bush lawyer. See the spikes on this? This stuff grabs onto your skin and then rips it out if you keep walking.